of the Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our public session. Welcome to our members of the public. The way that our meeting typically goes is we will run through our agenda. If you have any questions or comments, you will be afforded an opportunity at the end of my report. With that said, I am going to turn it over to our chair, Commissioner Shalimar Thomas.
Thank you, Kia. Welcome, everybody, and welcome our newest commissioner, Dr. Donald Tibbs. It's wonderful to have you here today. After the public session, if the commissioners can just hang around so we can introduce ourselves and officially welcome Dr. Tibbs, that would be fantastic.
Yes.
All right, so welcome to the Philadelphia Commission of Human Relations public session taking place today, September 15th. I had to look at it. It is September, everybody. Can we start the meeting with the approval of meeting minutes? Are there any corrections to note? All right. No corrections noted. I move that the minutes are submitted into the record. Next up are the cases recommended for closing. I will ask for recusals after I read the cases. Cases recommended for closing are as follows. All right, cases recommended for closings for the month of September 2023 are as follows. Under employment, we have Bradford Corey versus Philadelphia Housing Authority, Kristen D'Amelio versus Philadelphia Gay News, Camille D. Harris versus Self-Help Movement Incorporated, Christopher Robinson versus School District of Philadelphia, Perline Sturdivant versus School District of Philadelphia, Margaret Capro versus Chubb Insurance, Denole S. Booker versus Universal Daroff Charter School and Universal Companies, Michelle L. Studevan versus Royal Home Care and Community Services Incorporated, Gadira Thompson versus Tascom Cable Incorporated, Joe Phillip versus University of Pennsylvania, Doris Gaskins versus Thomas Jefferson University Hospital, Adam J. Henderson versus City of Philadelphia, Manuel Santana versus GDI Integrated Facility Services, Naima C. Giddens versus Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, Nada Mays versus Esperanza Health Center Incorporated, Shakita A. Smith versus School District of Philadelphia, Angela K. Ferguson versus City of Philadelphia, Ryan Travis versus Sholson Collective and Locust Street Restaurant Group, LLC, Ping Gao versus Live Casino Hotel Stadium Casino RE, LLC, Monique Fredericks versus Paragon Home Care, LLC. And under housing, we have Wendy R. Gilson versus Concordia Properties Management. Give me 1 second while I get back to my notes. All right, are there any recusals?
I want to recuse myself from employment case number 10, Phillip versus the University of Pennsylvania.
Thank you. Recusal has been noted. Any other recusals? All right, recusals have been noted. With that, can I have a motion to accept the cases? I see a motion made by Commissioner Alpert, and I see a second made by Commissioner Boston. All in favor? Thank you. Cases for the month of September have been accepted. And with that, I'll turn the agenda over to our Executive Director, Kia Gee.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. I have a few updates to share. I will start with compliance. Our contract with the EEOC expires on September 30th, 2023 for this contract year. Congratulations to our entire compliance unit who worked diligently to process our employment discrimination cases in a comprehensive and efficient manner. We have met our contract goal, and we look forward to continue diligently investigating employment complaints. In terms of community engagement, prevention, and education, on August 31st, Representative Tiara Thompson joined Councilmember Kenyatta Johnson and other community partners to participate in a neighborhood peace walk along the 6200 block of Glenmore Street in response to a killing of a 37-year-old mother of five who was shot alongside her 15-year-old son and 27-year-old family friend. On September 14th, Representative Carlos Avalos, Marcano, Boone Ratmat, and David Oliver provided information about PCHR's services at a Welcoming Week event called Chasing Love. The event featured a 12-foot tall animated puppet of a Syrian refugee girl, and it's internationally known as Little Amal, which is a globally recognized symbol of human rights. Representative Boone Ratmat is also assisting the Cambodian Association of Greater Philadelphia to navigate the city's services and manage tensions among vendors at the FDR Park for the Southeast Asian market. In terms of conflict responses, Representative David Oliver and Tiara Thompson participated in an emergency town hall at the 16th Police District in West Philadelphia regarding a shooting incident where they offered support services and connecting victims to other services offered through the city. On September 14th, Deputy Director Randy Duque participated in the city's resettlement of a recent migrant bus that arrived. He is working and has been working for several months with the Office of Emergency Management to assess safety and security after incidents were reported of hate-related intimidation. Other noteworthy events for this reporting period: on August 23rd, myself and Deputy Director Pamela Gwaltney participated in the community conversation that centered on equal justice in the judiciary. That was hosted by the Leadership Conference on Civil and Human Rights and the New Pennsylvania Project. On August 28th, Deputy Director Randy Duque spoke at the Filipino pop culture comic event. I can't pronounce the name of it, I'm sorry. Wang Wakang Pambansa, I think. Am I saying that right, Randy?
It's Buwan ng Wikang Pambansa.
Thank you. Which is National Language Month in translation. And they spoke on the importance of language. He spoke on the importance of language access and learning about culture. Finally, we are excited to announce that Dr. Donald Tibbs was recently appointed as a commissioner for the Philadelphia Commission on Human Relations. He is joining us today. Commissioner Tibbs is a professor of law at Drexel University's Klein School of Law, who is known for his work as a scholar and activist for racial and social justice, as well as human rights. So welcome to Dr. Tibbs, who joins us today. We are also excited to announce some newly hired staff, some critical staff for us. Alexander Rudolph was recently hired as an intake coordinator. Libertu Pastor Bay was recently promoted as an intake coordinator. And finally, we have a communications director. Sateria Kersey will join our agency on October 2nd as our public relations officer. So yes, we are very excited to have all of our new staff. Upcoming events for the next reporting cycle. On September 21st, Deputy Director Randy Duque will be a panelist at the U.S. Attorney's Office presentation on law enforcement, community engagement convening. I'm sorry. This is a symposium. The symposium is entitled Law Enforcement Community Engagement Convening. He will be discussing how to address conflict in the community. On September 22nd, I will be a panelist on the Employment Law Seminar at the Philadelphia Bar Association's Bench Bar Conference. I will provide an update to employment lawyers regarding the laws that we enforce here at the agency, including the Fair Practices Ordinance, the pre-hire marijuana ban, as well as new regulations and standards for undue hardship, so that our employers better understand the anti-discrimination enforcement that we do here. That event will be in Atlantic City, New Jersey. On September 29th, I will also be a panelist at Drexel's Law School, speaking to the Black Law Student Association on the importance of diversity in the legal profession and challenges that Black female lawyers face in the profession. That will take place between 1:30 and 2:30 at the law school. On September 28th, I will be honored by the Philadelphia Tribune as one of Philadelphia's most influential leaders. So I am proud of that. Thank you. On October 12th.
As a former alum, Kia, congratulations. It is a really big deal.
Thank you, Commissioner Thomas. I appreciate that. On October 12th, myself, along with Deputy Director Pamela Gwaltney, Attorney Karen Foreman, will be facilitating another training session for the Philadelphia Bar Association on the anti-discrimination protections afforded to employees under the Fair Practices Ordinance. Thank you, Karen. And that event will take place at the Philadelphia Bar Association. And then finally, on October 20th, I will be an award recipient and a speaker at the upcoming World Summit on Women and Girls, which will commemorate the United Nations International Day of the Girl at the Philadelphia City Hall here in the city. So I will provide more details about that shortly. In terms of our hate and bias incidents that we have been tracking for this month, we had 7 confirmed incidents reported to us. Most of those incidents centered on race, religion, and anti-LGBTQ hate. In terms of race, I'll give you a brief description of what we encountered for this month. In terms of race, a person threw a plastic bottle at a woman in her vehicle and called her the N-word. There was also an unknown man who approached the woman's door, banging on the door and damaging her camera, threatening her and also calling her the N-word. We had a complainant who was called the N-word several times by a gas station attendant, the gas station employee rather, during a verbal dispute. Our team is following up with that complainant to make sure that they're aware of the public accommodations complaint process as well. We also had an anonymous letter that was sent to a bank with racist sentiment in that letter here in Center City. In terms of religion, we had a medical professional who received several threats and anti-Semitic voicemails from a patient. And then finally, we had 2 incidents reported to us that were anti-LGBTQ sentiment. A trans male was called the F word and attacked by a group of teens who threw bleach on him. Randy is following up with the District Victim Advocate Office to ensure that we are have our finger on the pulse of what's going on in that case. So we'll be tracking that. We also had a homeless person yell anti-LGBTQ slurs at a person walking through the park. So for all of those incidents, just so that the public is aware, we monitor and track the trends that happen in Philadelphia as it relates to bias and hate incidents. And we also reach out to the victims to make sure that they're connected with victim services and other city services that may be triggered. We also meet bi-monthly with a group of state and local law enforcement partners, community partners, to make sure that we're discussing the trends that we're seeing and getting their input on services that they're providing or available to provide. So we just had that meeting yesterday, meeting with our partners. And so we are very active in the resolution of those issues. So with that said, we have had 69 incidents reported to us for this year. 66 of them were confirmed and 3 have not been confirmed, well, were noted as unconfirmed because we didn't have enough information to establish that it was a hate incident. That will conclude my report for the month. And with that said, I will offer up for any questions or comments that anyone may have. All right, seeing no questions or comments, I will turn it back over to Commissioner Shalimar Thomas.
Thank you. And yes, congratulations, Kia.
Thank you.
All right. So our next meetings will take place in October. The executive session is scheduled to take place October 13th. And the public session will be held on October 20th, 2023. The readers for the month of October are Commissioners Kareem Thomas, Albert, Austin, and Loren. With that, can I have a motion to adjourn? I saw Commissioner Austin and Commissioner Albert again, so I'll take that as the first and the second. All in favor? All right, with that, our public session is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, everyone can go except for the